everyone, this is Amy with Simply Elizabeth Crafts, and this is the Facebook Not Live for February the 7th. I had to think about that date for a second. I have a church meeting, and so that church meeting is something that is dear to my heart and important to me. So instead, I will bring you a not live video that you can still get lots of good ideas and projects that you can use with the products that you're purchasing from Stampin' Up. So this video is posted on the YouTube, so make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and make sure that you leave a comment there, because I will draw names for that, and I will also post the prize winners from last week so that I can get those out in the mail to y'all as well on Monday, so that you've got all of that. So let's get started, and I want to start off with the Simply Elizabeth Crafts. This is the monthly club. It is called Simply Creative Club, and this club is $39 a month. You get $20 in products, a minimum of $20. Usually it's a little over. It's usually between $20 and $22. But this month, for February, the last day to register for this is February the 15th. And it is using the Rainbow of Happiness. And these are the projects right here that are down in here. And I know I've showed those a couple times. So if you're interested in that, there is a link in the description of this video for you to do that. All right. Move over my next pile for you. The Altogether Suite is available for purchase. This includes paper, stamp set, dies, and it includes 10 blends, Stampin' blends that are for colors of your skin. So it's your skin tones. They are amazing. And we no longer only have to use petal pink and bronze, and I can't remember the other one because I didn't really like, I think it's bronze and I can't remember. So anyway, now we have a whole array of them, and these are fantastic. I love them, love them, love them. But this is all together. It's a great suite of products. It is only available while supplies last. It is available to customers now and will run through May the 2nd unless it runs out prior to then. So if you're interested in that, you need to make sure that you get that ordered. And that is a little bit more up close of it. The next thing is bingo. The registration cutoff was on Friday the 4th, but I did order I made 2 extra packets just in case anyone was interested in joining last minute. So if you are, I have 2 extras that can be filled, and that cost is $45. It is in Casey at Murray's Grill. So you'll do 6 rounds of bingo. There's lots of good prizes. There's even consolation prizes if you've already won and all that kind of stuff. There's appetizers, make and takes, little thank you gift. You also get an ordering special. You get $5 off. And I'll be honest with you, I usually do free shipping, so it's always worth your thing. I always say $5 off, but then I usually change it the day of and say, oh, I'm going to do free shipping. So well worth it to order when you're there as well. And then all of the prizes are from the new, it's not from the new annual catalog. It's from the new mini catalog that we have been playing from. This is the spring, what I call the spring mini catalog. So all the prizes are from this catalog right here. And if you are interested in doing it, or if you are already registered to come, do know that I will be sending out an email just for confirmation for everyone. And to also let you know that the very last round, you can order, or you can get some extra little cards to play bingo on for the blackout round. So that is bingo. So just 2 more spots, that extra that I did some packets on. Let's see. The next thing is the February tutorial bundle. There are 34 projects. Y'all, it just keeps getting better and better and better and better. This is free from me when you purchase $50 in my online store. The products have to be $50. So it does not include shipping and handling. So if your order is $48, add a pack of dimensionals, and then you can get this for free. Okay. And it is from demonstrators from all over. So it's not just my creation. That's mine right there. That's my project. But these are all from different demonstrators from around the world, and they are fantastic. All right, let's do this one. This is the paper share. I'm still doing it. If you are still interested in it, might as well just keep it going if you're interested. And the cost for that is $39 plus $9 shipping. So if you want to do a paper share, it is not too late to do that. You can definitely get in on that. There's a link in the description of this video as well, so you can do that. And then last but not least, 2 free stamp sets are available right now if you join my team. Stampin' Up! Is offering 2 free stamp sets when you join Stampin' Up! Now and until the end of February. So that's February the 28th. We would love to have you on our team. We call ourselves Stamping Grace, and we do challenges. We do monthly swaps. We have a team meeting. As a matter of fact, we have a team meeting this Tuesday. We just kind of keep up with each other through the group. We do all kinds of things. There are rewards for top sellers of the month. There, with our challenges and stuff like that, I draw names for those too. And every now and then I do random fun games that I mail stuff out to the team members, and if they participate, they can get free stuff when I draw their name, or they're the first to answer the question that is posted on our team page. So we do a lot, and there are a bunch of great ladies on this team. So if you're interested in that, let me know, and I'll be happy to walk you through it. Okay. I think that's it. I'm pretty sure that's it. I don't see anything else over here. So we're going to go ahead and start on our one for today. See if I can find the page, because, oh, there it is. So we are going to do the biggest fan, okay? The reason I chose this one for this week is because next Sunday is the biggest football game of the year. And I love sports. I watch football. I'm mainly a football girl. I watch a lot of football. But my husband, of course, is the biggest sports fan ever. He watches everything: basketball, baseball, football. Well, not everything. He doesn't really watch soccer, but he watches everything else. So I, of course, had to get this set because of him being a huge sports fan. But I wanted to use this set in honor of what is next Sunday. So this is, and I will be honest with you, when I first saw this, I was not into it. I didn't necessarily like the color combinations. I get that these are the colors of the majority of the teams out there. Totally get it. Totally understand it. But the samples that I had seen before the catalog came out, and before really looking at the catalog here, I wasn't impressed. I wasn't into it. I was like, meh, whatever. I've started playing with it, and I have fallen in love with it. So much so that not only have I done a Facebook Live for it, but it will be it will be one of my clubs, monthly clubs. I've already designed the projects, and I am so excited about them. So we are going to do 3 different ones today. I did 2 3D projects, and then I also did a card. Now, in saying all of that as well, I really tried to think outside the box for it, because I didn't want to just do a baseball. I didn't want to just do football. Like, I really wanted it to be different. I didn't want it to be, you know, like Cracker Jacks and, you know, sunflower seeds. Like, I wanted to kind of step outside the box. So I really started thinking about different things that you do when you're involved in sports. One of the things I used to do when I was in my early 20s, before I got old and refused to go deal with all those people, is I used to tailgate at football games. And the first thing, I'm not a coffee person, but the first thing I would do is I would get up and I would drink a Diet Coke, because you know you're getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, which you don't even do when you go to work. And you get up early to go tailgate for 5 hours prior to going into the game. Most of my friends that I tailgated with are huge coffee drinkers. So I have this little box here. Now this was, I did something similar to this last year or the year before. I can't remember what it was. It was part of a convention that I took. So it's just kind of a remake of that with this. And then I'm going to show you what I found to go inside. So it's just, you know, obviously Stampin' Up! Sells these little coffee cups, but here's what I found. I found these Folgers, and I think there were a couple other brands, instant coffee. So you would just get some hot water and stick it in just like you would with your flavored water packets. So it's just the same thing. You just want to make sure that you have hot water with it. So that's what I stuck down in here. Now I did make sure you could actually stick a small water, one of those small baby waters. You could actually stick that in here, and then you could get some of the flavored water packets, and you could put that in there as well. So lots of things that you could actually put in here. All right, so let's get started on the package, on the project, not the package, but the project. And I'm going to go ahead and pull out. So this is how the cups come from Stampin' Up. And you can see I've used a whole bunch of them. So we're just going to take a lid, and we're going to take a cup. And then we'll set those aside. All right, and then here is the stamp set, and then here are the dies. This die right here, I have used on a ton of projects already outside of using this bundle. This is a great label die, and so is this one right here. So very multi-usable. All right, so there we go. Move the paper out of the way. All right, I do have a lot of stuff for this first project. All right, we're just gonna take out 3 of these. All right, and I've done most of the die cutting because you don't really need to see me die cut since we're not live. So I've done most of the die cutting for this. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put our little coffees in there, and we'll close this up so that those don't get lost. Okay, let's see. I am gonna need, I've got a little cheat sheet over here because I need the measurements, not the measurements, but the score lines. Okay, so on this piece, and there is a blog post for this, so make sure that you go on and you can find all the measurements for it there, okay? All right, so this one is 3 by 10, and we're gonna score it at 2. And then we're gonna set that aside for just a second. And then we're gonna grab this other piece of Very Vanilla, and this is Very Vanilla. It's been a long time since Stampin' Up! Has had Very Vanilla in their DSP, so I'm super excited because I have a ton of it. And I am glad that I get to use it again. All right, so this piece right here, I want to make sure that I'm scoring it. All right, on the short side, we're going to score it at 1/2, and then at 3.5. Okay, and then on the long side, we're going to score it at 1, 3, 6, and 8. All right. All right, so let's fold on all those score lines. And then I'm going to go back and burnish them really good. All right, and then let's do, oh, one more. All right, and then this one and this one. Okay, and then let's go ahead and fold on these. All right, now I need to cut this hole right here at the top on these two pieces right here. So let me grab, before we do our cutting, because that will be the only thing that we actually need to cut out. Yes. So let's go ahead. Oh, no, actually, you know what? We do. So let's go ahead and cut this, because we're going to need to cut out. Sorry, that was a container with cards for a class. We need to cut out this right here. So let's cut this piece real quick. All right, I'm going to grab my short scissors. Okay. So here we're going to cut this off. I knew it was going to fall, and I should have moved it before I went live, but I didn't. I just walked right on past it. So it'll be all right. Okay, and then we're gonna cut. And again, which I say this in every video, what I'm really doing is I'm cutting off this score line hump here. I wanna make sure that I cut that off. So I'm cutting on either side of it. All right, so then we're just gonna cut on either side. And when you cut on either side, it'll give you almost like a little notch, like that. All right. And I'm leaning down because I'm trying to make sure I see it all. All right, and then this one, we're gonna cut off like that. And then we'll do it again on this side. All right, and then just a few more. Okay, all right, so there we go. Now we're gonna run this part through the cut and emboss machine, and what it's gonna do is it's gonna fold over on this side, okay? So it's gonna create a box. And then we're gonna cut a hole here in the top, all right? So let me grab my machine. I'm gonna make sure that I am in the camera. I think my camera has dropped, and so I need to fix it and make it bigger. Okay, I'm gonna take and fold this over because I need to cut this, but it's not gonna fit through with it like that, and it's not gonna go through like this either, because what we're using is the basic border dies. We're gonna use this chevron piece. And I think it's just easier if it goes through on the side. It may work this way, but it's right there to the end of the plates, and I just don't wanna get it caught in my machine. So I'm just gonna fold over, and I'm gonna line it up. And I'm gonna take a Post-it note that is right here. And I'm gonna leave that on there so that it will keep that from moving. All right, and then we'll lay down and we're gonna run through. Okay, and then we're gonna switch it and do the opposite side. All right, so we'll take this off, and then we will flip it, and we will do this side. Alrighty, run that through, and then we will do our circle, and then we will be done. All right, I'm gonna stick that back in so I don't lose it. And then that is done. And now I'm gonna take my circle, and the circle that I'm using is actually from our biggest fan dies. I'm using this right here. And I just thought that made it easier. Okay, and then I'm gonna stick that sticky back on one more time, just so it doesn't move. And all right, see, it moved, even with the sticky on there. All right, let's try that again. I don't know what is wrong with it. There we go. It's not lining up for me. There we go. All right, let's try this again. Let's put our circle on there. Let's put our sticky on there. Let's put our plate on there. And then let's run it through. And then I'm just gonna back it up because I don't want it to go through the whole thing. All right. And there is our circle. And then you've cut out those as well, so you could use that on another project. All right. I'll throw that away. Okay, so now let's start putting the box together. So this is gonna be our inside, and that's gonna be our inside. And now what we need to do is actually flip this over, and we need to put adhesive all the way down. So I'm just gonna use my seal. And you can use tear and tape. You could actually, you could use the Seal Plus, but my Seal Plus is out over here and I have yet to put it back together. And for now, you're not gonna do anything with these side pieces right here, okay? You're just gonna fold this up here and you're gonna put it just like that, okay? And it's gonna stay sticky there, and that's okay. That's what you want. Okay, and then you're gonna do this side. Okay, now there is your box. Now, I'm gonna grab my silicone mat and I'm gonna place this sticky side down. And that's what's great about this silicone mat is it doesn't stick. All right, I'm actually gonna turn it this way. Since I'm a lefty, I need to see, I need to see it to the left. And then what I'm gonna do is line this up on top of this, okay? And my bend is gonna go on the back. Before I do that though, I need to add adhesive to this bottom part. Okay. All right, now we're gonna take it and line it up with that fold and then to the edge, and then we're gonna lay it down, okay? Now that is not quite on that edge, so I'm just gonna pick it up and then adjust it to make sure that it lays flat. All right, and now I'm just gonna do good pressing on it to make sure that it stays. All right, and then we're gonna do it with this side as well. I'm just gonna put some good extra adhesive on it. It's not going to the edges though. That's what I need it to do. All right, and now we're gonna do this side. So we're gonna bend it and then line it up with the edge. And make sure that we are lined up. There we go. Okay, and then it's gonna fold, and now you have your construction. Now I'm gonna just take my bone folder and I'm gonna really burnish those adhesive areas, especially on the bottom. All right, so there we go. And then those are gonna fold down, but we're gonna put our DSP around it first, okay? So we're gonna take our, I can move the silicone mat now. We're gonna take this piece right here. We're gonna put a little bit of adhesive on the end. We're gonna take a small little piece here and we're gonna just lay it right on over because we need to extend it just a touch. Okay. I might put a little too much glue there. All right, so there we go. That's good. And now I'm gonna flip it over and I'm gonna run adhesive all the way down. You probably can't see the end of it, sorry. All right, and then I'm gonna put adhesive on this end, and as I stick to it on this end, okay? All right, now I'm gonna take the front, and it doesn't matter which side's the front, and I'm just gonna lay it, we'll line it up with the bottom, like that, and then I'm gonna press on it. Then I'm gonna flip it, and I'm gonna have to hold it, and I'm gonna line it up with this side, like that, and then I'm gonna rub it, and then we'll go back and really burnish those ends and just those corners in just a second. And then we're gonna do the same thing there, okay? Now we're gonna flip to this side, and we're gonna do the same thing. This is kind of one you gotta get close on, right? And then we're gonna line it up on the back. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go through and just kind of rub in those corners and then rub those sides just to make sure that it's down, okay? And once you put all your stuff on top of it anyway, it's not really gonna matter. You won't be able to notice it and it's not gonna come open. Okay, now what we wanna do is take and put dimensionals underneath there. So I'm gonna grab my large dimensionals. I'm gonna grab 3 of them and I'm gonna stick them almost to the edge. Okay, so just like that. And I'm gonna do one in the center or as close to the center as possible. And then on the other end, right there, we'll take off the backs. And then we're just gonna lay it flat down like that. And all it's doing is it's just popping it up a little bit, just makes it more decorative. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. All right, so 1, 2, and 3. All right, and then we'll fold that one down. Perfect. Okay, now I'm gonna take some ribbon, if I can find it, here it is. And we are going to run it through, but first I want to put adhesive there in that center. So I'm gonna take my tear and tape and I'm gonna run it right down the center. And this is gonna help keep the ribbon in place. All right, hold on, there we go. Didn't want to come off there. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to make sure that I have enough ribbon there to tie a bow. And then I'm going to adhere it to that adhesive there. And then I'm going to run it up like this, and I'm going to need to cut there. I did it the wrong way, but that's okay. I should have started from the back so that I could make sure to have the good enough there to not waste the ribbon, if that makes sense. Okay, so now we're gonna just tie a bow. I'm gonna line up those circles, which they look to be off. I don't know how that would have happened. Probably because I was on Facebook Live. All right, so then we're just gonna tie a bow. Well, not Facebook Live. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. When you do a video, nothing goes quite the way you have it planned, right? Okay, that's good. I'm good with that. So we just want to cut off this end here. We don't need that much of it. And I don't like that. Let's do that again. There we go. And then we're going to do this one at that angle. Okay, so there is that. And now we're going to kind of build up this front here. So the first thing I have that we're going to put on there, I need to actually see my sample here, is we're going to take and put this Poppy Parade ticket right here in the background. And we're pretty much going to pop everything up, okay? And I'm going to put 4 dimensionals. I'm going to put 2 on each side. And then we're going to adhere this, oops, at an angle like that. All right. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this star and we're going to pop it up. And then we're going to stick it right about there. Okay. Now we want to take this vellum flag. I don't know if you can see that. It's very tiny. Okay. We're going to put mini glue dots on the back of this. All right, let's see. And we're going to have to fold the glue dots over. And you won't really be able to see it unless you get like really close to your project. I think it does just fine. All right, so we want to fold it back onto there, and then we're going to stick it right here on our star. Then we're going to take our little, oh, y'all put that on backwards. Let's try that again. All right, let's put that on there the right way. All right, and then we're going to take and put a little bit of adhesive on the end over here. So I'm going to take my seal and just put a little bit on there, maybe. There we go. And then we're going to put it right there next to the end part. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to take these little ticket line here and we're going to stick it kind of right about here. So what I need to do is I need to put a dimensional here, and we're going to use the mini dimensionals for it. So I need to put one there, and then I need to put one on each end. And it's going to be under stuff, so you don't have to put the other adhesive on it. It'll stay. All right. And then here. And then we're going to stick it right there. Okay. All right. right, and that's hanging off. And then we need to tie a bow, and we're gonna use the twine that comes with this set, and it's a fan baker's twine, and it comes with 3. So you've got Night of Navy, Garden Green, and then you've got Calypso Coral. No, not Calypso Coral, Poppy Parade and white. Okay, so now we're just gonna tie a bow with the Night of Navy. And we're gonna make it a little larger because we're gonna stick it up underneath. With a glue dot. I think I'm gonna actually do it the opposite way that I did it on the sample. I think I'm gonna do it this way. Right about there. Okay. All right, then we're gonna take this and we're gonna stamp our sentiment, and we'll stamp some stars on it. So we're gonna do You're Amazing, and it's gonna be stamped in Night of Navy. And we're gonna just stamp it right down in the center. Okay, and then we're gonna take Bumblebee, and we're going to stamp here and here. And then we're gonna stamp up here, like that, okay? And then we are gonna take it and we're gonna stick it right about here. So we wanna put a dimensional here and then there. Make sure I put it in the right place. All right, so there, and then here. All right, and then we're just gonna lay it right across there. Make sure I get that down. Okay, then I'm gonna take, I should have probably put a little bit of adhesive on it, so I'm gonna take a glue dot and I'm just gonna stick it right up underneath there, and that'll help that top part to stay. Okay, so this last thing we need to do to it is add some stars. And I'll say I do like these stars quite a bit. All right, so we're gonna take a yellow, well, Bumblebee. Uh-oh. I got it stuck. Oops. All right, there we go. There we go. We're gonna stick it right about there. And then we're gonna take Night of Navy and we're gonna put it there. And then we're gonna take a red, a Poppy Parade, and we're gonna stick it down here at the bottom. All right, so there is that. Now we just need to do our cup. All right, so I'm gonna set that aside. And I'm gonna bring in my pieces here. Now this is from Warm Wraps, which was in the holiday catalog, not this past year, not in 2021, but in 2020. And it coordinated with the set then. And they did have another set that came out with it. I think it was in the spring catalog after it, but they've kept these dies around and they are gorgeous. I love them. They are great for craft fairs. If you're a craft fair person, they're great for that. So this is a good die set to have. Okay, we are gonna attach this end to this end. So we're gonna put a little bit of adhesive right there, and I'm gonna use the tear and tape. Okay, and then we're gonna take that off. And then we're gonna line it up. And it will just line up right there so you don't have any see-through parts, okay? So that is right there together. Then we're gonna turn around on the back and we're gonna run adhesive all the way down. And you can see I just pulled it apart. There we go. All the way down. All right, and then we're gonna put a little bit on there. And then we need to actually put a piece of tear and tape on that one, okay? So I'm gonna grab that silicone mat again. I'm gonna lay it on there. And then I'm gonna stick this right there on it. I'm gonna take off that back. All right, now we're gonna take our cup and I'm gonna find this seam right here. And that's kind of where I start. I just think it's a lot easier to start there. And we're gonna just kind of line it up. And you wanna make sure that your curve down is what is facing, is the curve that's going down, that's what you want toward the bottom, like facing the bottom of your cup, okay? So we're gonna stick that there. And then we're just gonna lay it, and I did it so that I have that little spot left there. You can always put down this one first. And there we go. And then that will go together there. All right, so there is that part. Now we just want to do the top. So we're going to take, this is from the warm wraps as well. So we're going to take that, we're going to pop it up. So we're going to put 2 dimensionals on it. We're going to stick it right about there. Then we're going to take this, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do with this. So we are going to take and flip this over on the back. We're going to take the number 1. I cut it out twice. I cut it out of Very Vanilla and then Bumblebee. All right. So we're going to, we're going to put the number 1. We're going to lay it in that little hole there where it should have gone. And then we're going to take the number sign and we're going to put it into that one. Okay. So now those are in there. Now I'm going to take 2 dimensionals and I'm going to literally lay it. I didn't do that right. I need to do one at a time. Hold on. Okay. Let's lay that in there. And then we're going to put that there. Okay. And now let's put that one back in there. And then we're going to put that dimensional on. Okay, so now that is holding those in place. And then we are going to make sure I'm doing it right. Yep. We're going to take the backings off. And then we're going to put it on the cup that I all of a sudden lost there for a second. Okay, so now you've got your number and your 1 that is now in a different color. All right, the last thing we want to do is we just want to add a little bow. You know, we just want to fancy it up a little bit more. So we're just going to tie a bow. And then we will cut the ends off. And then we're going to just take a glue dot. I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller. Sorry, I might have been out of the camera for that. Sorry if I was. All right, I'm going to make it just a little smaller. Okay, we'll take a glue dot. And then we will stick it on right there. Okay, and then we're going to stick this into our little holder. And there we go. All right, so that is the first project. And then let me clean up just a touch so that we can bring in the next one. That one is a little bit longer. It takes just a little bit longer because of your steps that you have to take, but it's still well worth it because it is gorgeous and it adds just a little bit of something to a plain thing, you know? All right, so our next one, I'm gonna move all that, and I gotta move trays. projects took up a lot of room on my trays. Okay, the next one we're gonna do is a little popcorn box. And I literally got this idea right out of the catalog. It is in the catalog on the bottom right here. So it is there. Now you could always end up making this bigger. If you cut two of these, you could always stack them on top of each other and you can make it bigger. You could also make it wider, so you could go double if you can cover up that seam and all of that. So there's lots of things that you could do to make this a little bit bigger. This is very tiny. That is just some caramel, and I think it's I'll show you the bag. Let me just show you the bag. Milk chocolate. This is Moose Munch. I found this at Family Dollar, I think it was. It was either Family Dollar or the Dollar Tree. Might have been the Dollar Tree. I have not tried it. I'm not real big on this kind of popcorn, anything that's got the caramel in it. So I know that's weird, but I'm not. And so anyway, these were really cheap though. And you can get probably 3 or 4 of these little bags. This would make a great little favor for a birthday party. Especially for well, you could do a girl too, you just change the colors, but perfect for like a party favor. And then it doesn't cost a lot because you're not having to put as much in there, right? It could be like a little thank you party favor. Okay, so let's put all this together. And again, I've cut most everything, so you don't have to watch me do that. All right. And again, I had to make notes so that I make sure I do everything right. Okay, so this is what we're gonna start with, and I'm gonna grab my Simply Scored again. And we're going to score at 1. And that's it. And then on, oh no, I just did it wrong. Oh no. On the 6.5 side, it should have done 2. Let me just cut another piece. Let me cut another piece because that's going to bother me. Okay, so we're going to cut at 6.5 by 4.5. Okay, then we're gonna score on the 6.5 side at 2, 3, 5, and 6. Then we're gonna flip it to the 4.5 side and we're gonna score at 1. There we go. That looks right. All right, so again, let's fold on all of our score lines and give it a good burnish. Okay, and then we're gonna take and trim. So we're gonna cut this whole piece off right here. We don't need that at all. And we're gonna notch everything in just a little bit more than what we normally do. With cutting those score lines off, we actually want a little bit more than that. On this piece, we're gonna go ahead and trim up here at an angle. Okay, move all that. And then we're gonna cut up on all these score lines at an angle. So it's gonna give a triangle. Okay, all right. Then we're gonna put adhesive on this side. We're gonna fold that over. and then we're gonna just fold that side over, and those seams will come right together. This is gonna be the back of our box because that's where the seam is. So I wanna put adhesive on this flap right here so that that goes toward the back. Okay. All right, so then we'll fold in our 2 tabs there, fold down that one. We're gonna make sure we've got a good box here, and I need to trim off just a little bit more on that one. There we go. All right, so now we've got that and then that. And then it comes together with a little box here. Now we're gonna take, now I cut this from the DSP that comes in this suite. We're gonna take and we're gonna tear off this little bottom piece here. Okay, it's like a little perforated edge. We're just gonna tear that right on off. We're gonna do the same thing for the other one. We're just gonna tear it right off. Then we're gonna come to the back. We're gonna put on adhesive. And then we are gonna line up our box to the bottom. And I put adhesive on here. I didn't go all the way to the edges because this will have just a little bit on each side. I also didn't go all the way up because you will have some at the top that is a little higher than that box itself, okay? All right, but this is gonna go on the bottom. And actually, I'm gonna stand it up just so I know that it's flat, okay? And then I'm just going to line it up so it's even and let it go straight up. All right, so there's one side. Now let's do the other. I'm gonna do the end. All right, and then we're gonna do the same thing for this side. Gonna line it up. And then just let it go straight up the box. That one I didn't do very good. Let's see if I can get it off. I think I can, I think I can. There we go. Yes. All right, let's try that one more time. Sometimes it's hard to do it because you have to like shrink down to it and it doesn't always work out very well. All right, let's see, that's not working out either. All right, let me try this a little differently. Let's lay it flat. It's DSP, so I've probably already just messed it up. All right, so I'm just gonna look here and get it to the edge. There we go. And then just make sure that I have it flat. All right, that is good enough there. We'll make that work. We'll make that the front. Okay, now let's take our bag, and these are, we sell these. These are printed gusseted cello bags. These are 3x9. And they have little stars on them, which I thought was fun. So we're gonna open it up. And then we're gonna pour some of this popcorn in it. And obviously we're not gonna put a lot in there. I think just a little bit more. I think that probably does it. All right, and then we're gonna stick this down into our box because we wanna make sure that we can get it down in there. There we go. All right, and then we do have a little bit of popcorn sticking out, which is just perfectly fine with me. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the green twine, the garden green from the twine pack, And we are gonna tie a bow. Maybe. All right, we wanna make sure that we get on the other side of that popcorn. All right, there we go. And I'm gonna actually tie a knot just so that I know that that's gonna stay. Okay, now I'm just gonna tie a bow. Now I'll trim off the ends. Okay, all right, so now let's build it up on our front. So we're gonna do it a little different this time. We're gonna use this piece right here, and then we're gonna stick that one out kind of like that. And then we're gonna stick this one right over the top of it, okay? But first we want to take that same twine and we wanna wrap it around our box several times. I think I did 3. Yes, yes, I did 3. So we'll wrap it around there 3 times. And then we will tie another bow. And then we will cut off those ends, and then we will put our pieces on here. Okay, so this one we're gonna just, actually we're gonna do it flat instead of popping it up. We're just gonna do it flat. So we're gonna run a good amount of adhesive because it's gotta go over that twine. So we just wanna make sure that it stays. So we're gonna do that at an angle right there. And then we are gonna take our little ball game piece here and we'll stick it, we need to stick it up under. So that was probably a stupid move on my part. Oh, I should have put this piece down first. I did that earlier too. All right, so what we can do is we can just trim right here and then you will never know. All right, so there we go. Okay, then this one's gonna get popped up. And then we're gonna stick that right there. And that is it. Literally, that's it. Quick, simple, easy. This is all cut out from the DSP. So there is no stamping or anything on it. It's just straight out of that DSP. All right, so that's project number 2. And then we've got one more. And that one is a simple and quick one, if you don't mess up like I did. So yeah, and it looks like you can get about 3 out of each bag. So that's not bad for a little party favor. Okay, so the last one we're gonna do is a card. I gotta bring in. So we're gonna make this card right here. Really simple, masculine happy birthday. All right, so we're gonna fold our card base in half. Then give it a good burnish. Then we're gonna take a piece of the DSP and we're gonna cover up the whole front of it. We're gonna use liquid glue for that. See, here's that paper that we cut out from. That's the pattern of it. So the blue is what's on the other side. All right. So we're gonna put this down. Make sure it all lines up. Press it good so that it stays to the front. I have adhesive all over the front here of my desk. All right, and then we're gonna put this piece, this reminded me of baseballs, obviously. So we're gonna put that piece on here from one end to the other, kind of in the center. If it's not directly in the center, it's not the end of the world. It's perfectly fine. Then I'm gonna take just a Poppy Parade circle. It is just a scalloped circle. We're gonna lay it flat onto the card base. just like that. Okay. Oh, you know what? Before, well, it doesn't matter with that one. We need to take the green twine again. We need to run it around, and then we're just gonna tie a knot. And then I'm gonna show you how to make the tassel. All right, so I'm gonna do a little end here because all we need is a knot, and this is gonna be kind of part of the tassel as well, so we don't need it too long. All right, so then we're gonna just trim that off right there. Okay, now let's go ahead before we do the tassel itself. We're gonna do it last. We are going to stamp our sentiment, and we're gonna pull in our piercing mat because this is a large, more solid stamp, and so we wanna make sure that we get a good coverage when we place it down onto our paper. And I'm gonna make sure I've got it good and inked up, and then we're just gonna kind of put it toward the top, right about there. Alrighty. Then I'm gonna take happy birthday and we're gonna stamp it right up underneath. Okay, then we're gonna take and put this onto our card base at an angle, and we're gonna pop it up with dimensionals. Okay, so then this is going to be in an angle, and the reason I wanted to not do anything with this yet is now what I want to do is actually want to move it so that the tassel is right at the end of our sentiment label. Okay, all right, so there we go. So all I did was just move that. I just turned it a little bit so that it was a little further over here. Now this is going to go on here at an angle like that, and we need to put dimensionals on the bottom piece, the bottom part of it. So we'll put 3 on there, and then we're going to put adhesive along the top. Okay, and then this is just going to sit right about, I want to make sure that that red circle is showing. All right, so there we go. All right, so now let's do the tassel. So I'm just gonna do it really easily. I'm gonna take all 4 of my fingers and I'm just gonna wrap around it a bunch of times, okay? And then I'm just gonna trim. Then I'm gonna bring it together in the center here, okay? And then I'm gonna take another little piece and I'm gonna tie a knot in the center. There may be an easier way to do it. I don't know what that is. I've never made a tassel before. This was my first time, so I was pretty proud of myself. All right, so I just tied it, but now I do wanna tie it in a knot because I just wanna make sure that it does stay. And you know, sometimes twine can come undone if it's not in a knot. So I just want to make sure of that. Okay, so now we are going to cut this at the same length as the loops there. And then we're just going to cut all these loops. Got one more there. All right, and then I'm just gonna kind of trim that. Now, I'm gonna fold this in half, just like that. That's all I'm doing. Then I'm gonna take, and I'm gonna put liquid glue right here in the center of the 2 tails from the knot. Okay, and I've got quite a bit on there, and that's fine because when I put this down, it's gonna be just fine. And then I'm gonna make sure that these kind of come in with it. Oop, well, that didn't work so well, did it? I got glue on my fingers, so it just pulled it up. All right, so there we go. And then this one is kind of doing its own little thing, so I'm just gonna tuck it up underneath and then you'll never be able to see it. Now, I do need to kind of make these a little bit shorter, so I'm just gonna kind of trim all those off. All right. And now my fingers are sticky and twiny. All right, so then there we go. So we're just gonna kind of spread that out a little bit. And then there is our card. So the card was definitely quick and easy. Yes. Okay. Oh, you know what? Nope, I forgot to put stars on. Stars. We want to put the stars on. Okay, so let's do red, or Poppy Parade. It is Poppy Parade. And we're gonna do green here, and we're gonna do there. And then we want one more red one there. Okay, so there we go. And I did forget to put it on our other project as well. So let's add some on there. We're gonna add some green since we've got a bunch of green on this one. And then let's add a few yellows. So 3 and 4, and let's do one more, and 5. Okay, so we fixed that project. All right, so there is project 3, and then there is project 2, and then here was project 1. All right. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. Again, everything is in the description of this video that I talked about at the beginning. If you click on the blog that will go live, it will give you all of the measurements that we used today so that you can duplicate these projects if you would like to. I don't give you like a tutorial, like directions or anything. I just give you all the measurements of the pieces that we cut. So, but again, if you have any questions, let me know. And I hope you guys enjoyed these projects. I certainly enjoyed making them, and be on the lookout for a class. Well, not a class, but it'll be club. And I'm pretty sure I have picked April as that class. So I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you later. Bye.